part of the story, as you can see echoes of their strategy of funding both sides of a conflict in the willingness of the US government to sell weapons to just about anyone, including people who have become our enemies and killed our own soldiers with US-made weapons. And yet, again, we fail to stand up. There's just too much complexity, too much narrative control, too much fear, too much greed, and too little understanding of how the system is actually rigged against us. So in conclusion, what do we do now? Now that you see it,
research language manipulation, because it's the only way you're going to be able to get out of the brainwashing. Because if you cannot consider or even think that it's possible that the language you've been speaking your whole life is actually designed to keep you trapped in a false mental state, so that way you are not seeing what the fuck is happening to you. If you can't come to that conclusion, you will be lost in the system until the day you pass on. There is no stopping it, because I could give you 1,000 different videos of all the information in the world that proves what I'm talking about, and you could still deny it because of fucking free will. So you see what I'm saying? You see how free will works? Like, it doesn't matter how much information I give you. If you choose to not see it, you're not going to see it because you chose to not see it.
the creature isn't just a metaphor, it is a mechanism, one designed to siphon wealth, centralize power, and obscure the truth behind a wall of economic jargon, institutional complexity, and media narrative. You saw how it was born in secrecy by elites who crafted legislation in a way to get the public to vote for their own economic demise. You saw how the Federal Reserve enables inflation by design, creating money from nothing and charging you to use it. You saw how economic crashes aren't accidents, but engineered features that consolidate control. How war is used not to win, but to spend. How debt doesn't just burden individuals, but enslaves entire nations. And how all of it is wrapped in layers of narrative control, educational programming, and engineered ignorance so thick that even many of the supposed experts, as we saw, get lost in the fog. But knowing the truth isn't enough. The reason the creature from Jekyll Island is so important is because we are racing towards a fiscal cliff and we must change course. As of today, the US national debt exceeds $36 trillion. At our current trajectory, the interest alone on that debt will soon surpass defense spending and eventually all entitlements combined. That means every dollar you earn, every service you rely on, and every future promise made by the government is at risk of being swallowed by compound interest. We will go bankrupt. As a nation, people are acting like that never happens, but countries go broke all the time. And it is grueling and often takes generations.
I'm talking about there's countries that used to exist that don't exist anymore, and those people don't exist either. There's other countries that the people still exist, yet the country doesn't exist no more, or the language they speak.
To rebound from, and some simply never recover. This isn't a slow leak that we can live with indefinitely. It is a...
There is no stopping it. You're on a slow... Look, I'm on a train that's not on the train that you're on. If you're stuck in the false mental reality, you're on a slow-moving train wreck that has already begun to crash. It has already been crashing for 50 years, right? Think of it this way. I'm just giving you a metaphor for reference. Think of it that way. The slow-moving train wreck you're on has been crashing for 50 years. It has not hit the ground yet. Do you see what I'm saying? It has fell off the track, and it has not hit the ground yet. I'm on a train that is not crashing. It is moving very smoothly. It is called fifth and sixth dimensional thinking pattern. The system of control operates from the fourth dimensional thinking pattern and operates and controls everything below that, right? There's 12 dimensions. Everyone is aware there's 12 dimensions. As far as we're all consciously equally agreeing, there's 12 dimensions. Right. We live in a three-dimensional construct. So that's first, second, third dimension right there. Well, the second, third, and anything past the first has a thinking pattern. Okay? Because this is a mute point, right? The thinking pattern tells you where you are in dimensionality, right? if the system is in the fourth dimensional thinking pattern where space and time happens, right? So the fourth dimension is space and time. It's where it operates. Okay, check it out. Anything past the fourth dimension, time is no longer linear, right? So that's why it's like, it doesn't matter if like people start following me, people don't follow me, people follow me and then they leave, or if you listen right now or you leave or don't listen, and none of it matters because the course everyone is on is going to the same destination. Do you see what I mean? And so you can't get there though through the destruction you're on. The slow moving train wreck is going to hit the ground. And if you're locked into fourth, third, or second dimensional thinking patterns that keep you trapped in a bondage, mentally enslaved on multiple levels, you aren't going to be able to get off that train and get on this train that I'm on. Because I think and fit that everything is one. Everything is created from one source. There is no reason to war, fight, argue, or debate truth. We can debate what truth is. Once truth is established, it is no longer debatable. I've already established that the truth is everyone was born into this mental bondage. There is no escaping it. This is simply, the Fed is simply one tentacle of a much larger enrooted systemic control system. It's all predicated on controlling your brain, and your brain controls all your senses. And so therefore, if you have no ability to take back control over your brain, it doesn't matter what I say to you because I'm in your senses. I am in your senses. You see what I'm saying? Like, in order for me to get to your brain, I have to go through one of your senses, right? Which is your ears and your eyes, right? Currently, right? Those are two senses. Now, if your brain is under mental control, then it's being filtered through that mental control before it actually gets to you. And so therefore, it doesn't matter what I say because you can easily dismiss it because the system in your brain can dismiss it for you. So you see, it's very intricate. I can speak about it simply. I can speak about it in a very complex matter. But the basicness of it is basically you have to start questioning your own brain. Like, your brain say something to you and you'd be like, why did you just tell me that? Why did I just think this? Like, these are the types of questions everyone needs to start questioning themselves with, because it's not even about what's out here anymore. To figure out what's going on, you need to start questioning what's inside yourself. What are you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't question what other people do. I don't judge what other people do. Whatever they do is whatever they do for whatever reason they do. I don't worry about any of that. I only worry about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. Did I do something wrong? Do I need to apologize for that? Or did someone else do something wrong? Do I have to make sure that they apologize for that because it was wrong? And I'm talking about, when I say that, I'm saying that for all different types of manners, not just against myself. Like, this one wrong, this one, and this one, that one needs to apologize to that one. So even if this one doesn't ask this one to apologize, if I see it happen, bro, I'm going to tell that one to apologize to that one. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm fucking equal in all matters. Manners, matters, whatever. I'm equal in all that shit. Like, there's no reason for me to manipulate you. The only reason I should exist is to motivate you to motivate yourself, and there's only should be motivation. There should be no manipulation involved. My intent is to breed the truth that must be for everyone. And that's a standard of existing, right? It has nothing to do with my opinion or your opinion or what the left thinks or what the right thinks or da-da-da-da. None of that shit matters. I breathe the same air you breathe. Period. That's it. There is no debate. If everyone can start questioning in that manner to look for those types of truths, everyone will come to the same conclusions because that's what it's designed to do. I didn't create it. I just was born here and fucking went through a whole bunch of trauma to figure it out. I didn't get to live like comfortably and like grow up with a bunch of stuff that helps you succeed and do all these things. I was set up to go through trauma, and I'm pretty certain I did it to myself So that way I could break open my brain so I could ask questions to get to these types of answers. And I had to go through all that to get to here. And that's why I'm totally okay with everything that's ever happened to me. And I could be broke for the rest of my life. I'm richer than 95% of the world right now because of what I know. And so knowledge is power, not money.
Ticking time bomb that will cause the country to implode. Change is not a nice to have. It is a moral obligation. So, how do we change? Where do we go from here? Griffin is very clear on this point. You cannot reform the creature. You must abolish it. His proposed action steps are surprisingly practical. 1, end the Federal Reserve. Griffin argues the Fed is unconstitutional and should be abolished entirely. He believes the power to create money should be restored to Congress, where it can be held accountable to the people. This would eliminate the unelected authority that currently governs monetary policy in secret.
It's not really enough, though.
And for profit. 2, end the fiat system altogether. According to Griffin, fiat money is inherently unstable and leads inevitably to inflation and debt. He advocates for a return to sound money backed by tangible assets like gold or silver, which cannot be created out of thin air and limit the government's ability to overspend. 3, reject centralization. Griffin warns that central banking,
hence Bitcoin,
leads inevitably to centralized political and economic control. He recommends a full embrace of decentralized financial structures, local banks, credit unions, community currencies, and while he wrote the latest edition before cryptocurrencies rise, I would very much imagine emerging alternatives like cryptocurrency would also fit the bill. The goal is to create entities that operate outside of the centralized institutions. According to Griffin, competition between banks and currencies is essential. He argues that the market, when left free, will ferret out bad actors. When banking is
oh my goodness. So this, right? Look, everyone is connected to everyone. All are sharing consciousness. And the thoughts that I could have, you also could have freely. You never have to meet me to have the thoughts I potentially have. Because we're all sharing the consciousness in the ether, right? Well, let me hear what he said again before I lose what I said.
The market, when left free, will ferret out bad actors.
That's what I was going on, right? Okay, so check it out. You see what he just said right there? Bad actors. What I have started to notice through my research of watching videos, because I watch way more videos than I react to online. Watch way more stuff. Anyways, what he just said right there, I noticed is that the system is attempting to normalize people saying that, so that way you cannot distinguish the fact that you are ruled by puppets that are actors, and actors have the ability to give you an emotional response for something that's not real. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm going with that? In a movie, if you're really locked in, right? Say you're super involved in the story, bro. You're in it, right? You feel like you are the character, right? You ever watch movies like that, right? And everything that's happening in the movie, you emotionally are reacting to. Well, that movie you're watching isn't real, yet it's eliciting those real emotional responses in you. That's what actors do. Now compute the president of Ukraine and Donald Trump are both listed as actors for Hollywood. Think about that. The president of Ukraine is on the website for people that act in Hollywood. Donald Trump also, obviously, he's acted in movies and been on TV shows and They're actors, bro. They're designed to lie to you, to elicit an emotional response. And everyone needs to get hipped. If someone is saying bad actor, you need to start paying attention to what they're saying. Not in that to pay attention to what they're saying. I'm saying you need to start watching out for these people because they're actually trying to lull you to sleep about what's happening. These people don't know about language manipulation. Tom, it's awesome, bro. He doesn't know about language manipulation. And if I ever can get a hold of any of these big time 4.5 million subscriber people and actually have a conversation with them, I maybe might be able to get them to conceptualize what I'm talking about. But typing in their chat or freaking trying to get a hold of them is very difficult because they're all rich. Do you see what I mean? I'm not rich. I don't need to become rich. I don't need to ever monetize anything I'm doing on here. Think about that. Like, I don't need the money, bro. I'm working vigorously to align myself to be able to do this for free until I die. Think about that. I won't ever need you to give me money or like get enough followers so that way Facebook will start paying me, or get enough fucking subscribers on YouTube so YouTube starts paying me and I can monetize my shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? Don't care. Once it's on the internet, it's forever. I don't need to worry about it. It's there. If it is found by someone, it will be found by them. If it is not found by them, it wasn't meant to be found by them.
When banking is decentralized, customers are free to choose the safest institutions, and bad banks are punished by market discipline.
Do you see how he just said right there? Again.
Free will ferret out bad actors. When banking is decentralized, customers are free to choose the safest institutions, and bad banks are punished.
Bad banks. Safest institutions. There is no safe institutions. There is only bad banks. They all have to do it. Do you see what I mean? They all have to do it. So do you see how he is contradicting what he's attempting to expose in this very moment? He's contradicting himself because he's trying to say that there's good banks and there's bad banks. But all debt is all debt based. Everything is based on debt. Everything. So how is there a good bank if everything is based on debt? There isn't. There is no good institutions. It's all corrupted. So this is what I'm saying. Language manipulation. I could go much deeper, bro. It's a false mental reality. It's called duality. You're in a dualistic split mind frame. You only have one brain. You have one brain with multiple parts in it, just like you have one heart with multiple parts in it. You don't have a left brain and a right brain. That's insane. You have one brain.
By market discipline, not protected by bailouts like they are now. 4, push for full audits and transparency. Until the Fed is abolished, Griffin stresses the urgent need for complete oversight. That means public audits, open meetings, and full disclosure of who benefits from the Fed's policies and where exactly the money flows. 5, educate relentlessly. Griffin believes the most...
I've been talking about this stuff. What I'm been talking about, not necessarily what he's talking about right here, but like what I'm talking about, I've been doing this for 14 years, bro. I logistically quit my life to full-time seek the truth that must be for everyone. It's all I do. It's all I think about. Every single one of my projects is fueled by the need to find that answer and those answers to all questions that lead to the truth that must be for everyone. And this is my entire existence. And now I will be on this internet, which is a web of lies, putting this information out because I know it's forever and it can never be taken down. Even if it's taken down, it's still up somewhere, regardless of wherever it is. The only way to really take it out is to EMP every electronic in the world.
Potent weapon against the creature is truth. The more people understand how the system works, the less power it holds. He urges readers to study the history, follow the incentives, and share what they've learned because the system relies on mass ignorance to survive. Let me leave you with this. Whatever flaws the book The Creature from Jekyll Island might have, I think it is an absolute masterwork that maps cause and effect through the entire monetary system. We have a chance to decelerate our debt accumulation enough to migrate.
I really think I'm going to have to make this to two parts now. I talk a lot, bro, which is all right with me. I'm totally cool. This was already a long ass video that I already knew I was going to react to. So yeah, I definitely think I'm going to have to make this into 2 parts. Like, I'm going to have to split it up. Like 2 hours is too long.
migrate to a new moral hard money system, but we have to take action now. Instead of being grateful that printing money acts like chemotherapy for a cancer-riddled system, change the system so it no longer causes economic cancer. Remember how all this started. 6 men, 1 train, no names, no press.
The funny thing is they met on a train, get it? And I gave you the metaphor. You're on a slow-moving train wreck, bro, that you never even knew you were born into or on. The guys that did it met on a train.
No records. They built a system in secret, but now it's out in the open. But there is
Partly, that's irony, because the system that I'm talking about and the train metaphor goes back way longer than these guys even existed.
something more dangerous than a lie, and that is a truth you choose to ignore. I hope that won't be.
I really hope he does see my videos, bro, because I just exposed him for a lot of truthful things that he wasn't aware of. And he just said it there himself.
You guys, and if you want to join me while I explore topics like this, it equals inflation by
We're gonna
design,
hear it again.
creating money from nothing and charging you to use it. You saw how economic crashes aren't accidents, but engineered features that consolidate control. How war is used not to win, but to spend. How debt doesn't just burden individuals, but enslaves entire nations. And how all of it is wrapped in layers of narrative control, educational programming, and engineered ignorance so thick that even many of the supposed experts
I didn't
as
mean to go
we
back this
saw,
far.
get lost in the fog. But knowing the truth isn't enough. The reason the creature from Jekyll Island is so important is because we are racing towards a fiscal cliff and we must change course. As of today,
No,
the
I
U.S.
only- I only
national
went
debt
back 15
exceeds
seconds.
$36 trillion.
What the
At our
hell?
current trajectory, the interest alone on that debt will soon surpass defense spending and eventually all entitlements combined. That means every dollar you earn, every service you rely on, and every future promise made by the government is at risk of being swallowed by compound interest. We will go bankrupt. As a nation, people are acting like that never happens, but countries go broke.
Okay,
all
that's
the-
crazy. I could
Instead,
swear I
Jay
was.
Buffett. 2, end the fiat system.
What the hell, bro? Look, it's 5 seconds. I thought how did I go back? How did I go back 3 minutes?
The less power it holds. He urges readers to study the history, mass ignorance to survive. I think it is an absolute masterwork that maps cause and effect through the entire monetary system.
What the I logistically, you see it goes 5 seconds either direction, bro, when I rewind or fast forward. And yet somehow I clicked this button like 3 times, bro, and it put me back 4 minutes.
We have a chance to decelerate our debt accumulation enough to migrate to a new moral hard money system. But we have to take action now. Instead of being grateful that printing money acts like chemotherapy for a cancer-riddled system, change the system so it no longer causes economic cancer. Remember how all this started. 6 men, 1 train, no names, no press, no records. They built a system in secret, but now it's out in the open. But there is something more dangerous than a lie, and that is a truth you choose to ignore.
Right there. That's what I was trying to get back to. Weird, bro. Logistically, I did 3 taps, bro. That's 15 seconds. It shot me back like 4 minutes. Right there. I hope he sees my videos, because I'm exposing truths that everyone needs to be aware of, and it's all staring you in the face, bro. I didn't make up language. Everyone jokes at me and laughs at me and thinks I'm a crazy person, but I didn't make up language. I didn't make up meanings of words. I didn't make up how these words have been manipulated to control your mind. I didn't do any of that. I just figured it out.
I hope that won't be you guys. And if you want to join me while I explore topics like this, be sure to join me for my lives on my YouTube channel.
And with that, go like Tom. Tom is cool. Don't get me wrong. He's way above the curve versus most other people with knowing things, right? He's very aware. This dude has interviewed CIA agents I've watched. You see what I'm saying? So he knows some stuff. He's still within that bubble of control that's on that slow moving train wreck. Do you see what I mean? It's just, it is what it is, bro. I didn't put him there, bro. And like, I know he's there. Look, I'm building myself up from a place that is not connected to any of that shit. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not connected to any of that shit. And I'm stacking Bitcoin. So in 10 years, I will never have to work again because I will have enough Bitcoin to logistically live off of that for the rest of my life and build it in a manner where I can give it to my children that were stolen from me. So even though they never will have met me or get to meet me or see me, at some point, they will just be gifted money as my what's that word? Damn it, I can't fucking think of how to pronounce it. Conupence? I didn't say it correctly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing about the government stealing my children, bro. I logistically tried. There was nothing I could do about it. Logistically, nothing I could do about it. So, for that, I can't do anything about it. So the only thing I can do is make a lot of money later that I can give to them. But it's not going to be out of manipulating the population out of your money. I would rather you keep your money and invest it in Bitcoin than give it to me. That would be the smarter move. The only thing I need is likes and shares. So that way this gets to more people. Like, that's the only thing I care about, is getting the information to more people.